Okay, this is cause number M330526, case of style of state of Texas versus DeColvin Coleman. Mr. Coleman, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how are you doing, Mr. Coleman? That's good, Mr. Coleman. You're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney James Padgett. Attorney Padgett, how are you doing?
Doing well. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Now, Mr. Padgett, what is your announcement in Mr. Coleman's case?
Your Honor, we have worked this case out for 10 days, credit for 2. I would ask that you set this on a plea docket on a Friday so that he could go into start his day on Friday.
So you want to start it this Friday or?
No, if we could set it on a plea docket for any time after New Year's, sometime after New Year's. Correct. And to
Give
give
us
him
a-
time to request the days off from work.
Okay,
The day off from work.
give us a Friday, first
A
week of
Friday.
January,
Well, maybe, could we maybe do the second, just to give him.
second week of
make sure-
January?
That way we're sure request that day off. Right, we'll take you 30 days and.
Give us we set it on a Friday,
Yes, Your Honor.
January.
Perfect, Your Honor.
Okay,
The 12th. Just like
Okay, this-
put in for that.
huh? This is, he's on the person on the pretrial docket. Okay, January the 12th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Excuse me, yeah, 9 a.m.
And you and me, but we're gonna do it on that day. Just make sure.
Okay. Case has been reset to January 12th, 2024, 9 a.m. You're gonna get your reset from your attorney. Once you get your reset from the attorney, Mr. Coleman, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Padgett, I think this is your only
Yes,
day.
Your Honor. it
You're
is.
free to go as well. You're excused.
Thank you, Mr. Porter.
Okay, this is, let's see, Samuel Falk. Where's Mr. Falk? Would you please come forward? This is cause number M323227. Yeah, case of style of state of Texas versus Samuel Hayden Falk. And Mr. Falk, is that your full name?
Correct.
How are you doing, Mr. Falk?
Been a rough morning, but I'm here.
That's good.
Hope you've been doing better.
Okay, I'm doing all right. Now, Mr. Falk, you're represented by your attorney John Macy. Attorney Macy, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Your Honor. Thanks for this.
And the state is represented in this case by Attorney Andrew Hubel. Attorney Hubel, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge.
That's good. Now, Mr. Macy, what is your announcement?
Yes, Your Honor. I recognize that my case is the oldest case on the trial docket. However, I just discovered today that I didn't have a video, some discovery. They just gave it to me a minute ago.
That's great, Your Honor.
And I'd asked to have the case reset one more time, just so I can make sure I understand all the information against us. And
Okay.
I know it's an old case, but this case initiated in court 3, and he was represented by Bruce Smith. And it
Okay,
got transferred to this court in April, I think.
right,
And then I got appointed. So
okay,
even though it seems old, I've only had it for about, for about 8
yeah.
months. So just so that I'm.
So it must have been
sure
over in that court for about 2-3 years,
that- I don't
something
know
like that?
what happened over there. There was,
Because it's a 2019 case.
yes, Your
And
Honor.
now,
Well, I'm just asking a question. So you were over there in county court at law number 3, is that correct?
correct. And
And-
then a year in, I was charged with a felony.
Oh, I don't need to,
Exact same night.
okay,
And
I
then
don't,
they
let me do this here.
transferred
Let's not go into
me. Okay,
other cases that you may or may not have. I just need to know whether or not the case was next door in County Court at Law number 3,
Yes, sir.
and it was over there for about 2 or 3 years, and then it was transferred here.
Correct.
Is that correct? And you said about 8 months ago.
That's what I believe.
Yeah, I see about, well, actually, it's less than that. You was just appointed on May 31st. Something like that, May 31st of 2023.
Right.
Okay, so you got some discovery this morning that the state just handed to you. And so, and you need time to prepare for your case. Is that correct? Okay, so how much time do you need?
A month, 2 months,
Okay.
whatever you want to give me, Judge.
Okay.
I can be
What-
prepared whenever I need to be.
Okay,
It's gonna be February the 5th.
February the 5th. Is that fine?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
so Mr. Falk,
Yes, sir.
you understand that your attorney, he wants to try your case. However, he just got some information today, some more evidence that he needs to evaluate in order to prepare for your trial. And so the case is going to be reset to give him time to adequately prepare for your trial.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, so you say February the what? Okay, this case is gonna be reset to February the 5th of 2024. Mr. Falk, thanks for being patient with us. And Mr. Macy, you're gonna get your reset. And once you get your reset from your attorney, Mr. Falk, you're free to go. And you have a blessed day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And same to you. And hope you be better today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, he has 2 cases, yeah.
Yes, sure.
Okay, both of those cases gonna be reset. This your only cases you have?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so you're free to go and you have a blessed day as well. It's connecting to audio. Is that him?
Is that-
Mr. Gonzalez, can you hear me? It says connecting to audio. I don't think he can hear me. That's Jorge Gonzalez. He's trying to connect. It's just. Something is wrong. Oh, I think he's connected. No, he's still not connected. Okay, I think he's trying to get somebody to help him. There you go. Mr. Gonzalez, can you hear me? Mr. Gonzalez, can you hear me? He must have turned it off. Oh, he did. Let's see. No, he's not connected.
Okay.
Okay,
I wasn't
let me do this.
asking him any questions.
This is cause number M325296, case of style the state of Texas versus Jorge Bo Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez is on Zoom. He's still trying to connect. There you go.
Ahora.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
how are you doing, Mr. Gonzalez?
Fine.
That's good. Now, Mr. Gonzalez, you're represented in your case by your attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, how are you doing?
Very good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Galmore, what is your announcement in Mr. Gonzalez's case?
Judge, we're still waiting on the blood discovery. The court signed the blood order.
Oh, wow. And it still hadn't,
Well, it was just signed the last time or two. I can't give you the exact date the court signed it.
right,
But it hasn't been that long yet. I know it hasn't been long enough for them to produce it. It normally takes their office around 60 days to get those records. It's probably been around 45 or 60 days since the court signed the order.
okay.
We'll definitely need one more
Oops,
day.
okay.
It might be better to put it on pretrial as opposed to trial too, since we may not have them back and have to read the next time.
Okay. Hold on a minute. Okay. See, notice. What about, like it says? Office. Was signed in August. Yeah, it's August the 9th. Almost 4 months. Give us a reset date. This is on Jorge Gonzalez on the trial docket, page 2.
I got a trial date,
Put it on the pretrial.
January 22nd.
It's going to be reset to January 22nd, 2024. Mr. Gonzalez, stay in contact with your attorney. Your attorney is going to be given notice of your reset date, your attorney and your bondsman. You're free to go and you have a blessed day. And
You too.
thank you. And
Thank you.
Mr. Galmore, this is your only case?
It is, Judge.
You're free to go as well and you have a blessed
Thank you,
day.
Judge. Have a good one.
Okay. Well, I have everybody ready. Let's see, Mr. Mr. Gertz ready? Miss Gertz, are you ready?
Yeah, be good.
Okay, Travis Bruce. This is cause number 23 CCCR 0464. Case of Solid State of Texas versus Travis Colton Bruce. Mr. Bruce, is that your full name?
Yes, Your Honor.
How are you doing, Mr. Bruce?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Bruce. You represented by your attorney, Ryan Gertz. Attorney Gertz, how are you doing?
I'm great, Judge. Thank you.
That's good. Now, Mr. Gertz, what is your announcement in Mr. Bruce's case?
Judge, I believe this is only our second appearance. I'm asking for a resetting of maybe 45 days or so to continue discovery with you
Okay,
in this matter.
this is Bruce, page 2 of the announcement docket. Okay, this case is going to be reset to February 12th of 2024. Mr. Bruce, your attorney is going to get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
You too, Your Honor. Merry
Okay.
Christmas to you and your
All right, Merry Christmas to you and your family as well. Miguel Alvarado.
Judge, I'm here on that. There's an issue with that.
I don't know. I don't. I don't think he's here. Jefferson County Code 1102 is in session and cause number 23 CCCR 0056. Case is filed, the state of Texas versus Alvaro Polito Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez is represented in this case by attorney Charlie Rojas. Attorney Rojas has informed the court that, no, does he need to have an interpreter?
I think we get through the names.
He can't, okay.
I think we can. If there's any hiccup, I can.
Okay.
I think we can get through it.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Gonzalez, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
You may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Gonzalez?
Fine.
Doing fine? That's good. Now, Mr. Gonzalez, as I mentioned earlier, you're represented by your attorney, Attorney Charlie Rojas. Attorney Rojas, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge. Thank you.
And Mr. Rojas, do you waive a record in Mr. Gonzalez's case?
We do.
The state is represented in this case by Attorney Sarah Staub. Attorney Staub, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Alvaro Polito Gonzalez, on or about October 22nd of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Gonzalez, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, Mr. Gonzalez, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? You're guilty. Okay. Now, Mr. Gonzalez, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. You recognize this document?
Yeah.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials, AG, on the line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature? And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification, Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yeah.
And is this your signature on the line that, above the line that is titled Defendant?
Yes.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yeah.
I also have a document before me that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Gonzalez, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Rojas, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that Mr. Rojas went over?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? And Mr. Gonzalez, are you a citizen of the United States?
I got a background, so.
But you're not a citizen, is that correct? Resident, okay. Now, Mr. Gonzalez, I also have before me a document that is titled, it says English for all foreign nationals except those from mandatory notification countries. And on this document, there's a word that's circled that says no, and the preceding sentence asks this question. Do you want us to notify your consular offices at this time? And it was circled no. Is this your signature on this document? Okay. Now, also, we're going to go back to State's Exhibit Number 1. On page 1 of State's Exhibit Number 1, at the bottom of this document, there's a paragraph that's titled Citizenship. And below that paragraph, there's a set of initials AG below that paragraph.
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials? And this paragraph reads as follows. If you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea of guilty, a nolle contendere may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country or denial of naturalization under federal law. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you still want to go forward with your plea bargain agreement?
Yeah.
And Mr. Rojas, pursuant to the case of Padilla versus Kentucky, did you explain to your client the consequences of pleading guilty and no contest as a result of him not being a citizen of the United States?
I did, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Mr. Gonzalez, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1
Yes,
into
Your Honor.
evidence? Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Rojas, you advised and counsel Mr. Gonzalez. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez, your attorney, Mr. Rojas has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gonzalez, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. And I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
It's 180 days, probated for 1 year, a $500 fine, 80 hours of community service, DWI standard conditions, and interlock device.
What is this court cost? Okay, now, Mr. Gonzalez, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs. Well, and a fine of $500 plus a DPS fine of $100. You also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, a urinalysis fee, $15 a month, a reimbursement fee of $15, and court costs of $377. Now, you also be required to pay the Jefferson County DWI initial evaluation fee on the day of the plea of $125. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $163 a month. Will you be able to pay the $163? Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Make sure I got that right. Hold on a minute. That'll be $172 a month. Will you be able to pay the $172 each month?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Gonzalez, do you understand the state's offer? Well, also, Mr. Gonzalez, you'll be required to perform 80 hours of community service, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, have an alcohol assessment, attend and complete a DW education course, and you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of DWI probation. Now, Mr. Gonzalez, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Mr. Gonzalez, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Gonzalez, you're gonna stand next to your attorney, follow the directions of the coordinator and the bailiff. Once you finish following in their directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Judge also has a Mr. Muniz.
Is he here?
He's here.
Joel Muniz. This is cause number 23 CCCR 1490 case of style, State of Texas versus Joel Muniz Jr. Mr. Muniz, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
Good.
That's good. Now, Mr. Muniz, you represented by Attorney Charles Rojas. Attorney Rojas, what's your announcement in Mr. Muniz's case?
Judge, Mr. Muniz also has a companion case over in drug court, and that case was reset to February 5th. I'm asking this case be set to the same day.
Same day,
Yes,
February 5th of 2024?
yes.
Mr. Muniz, your case will be reset on the same date of your felony case, which is February 5th of 2024. Your attorney is gonna get you reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Hunter Parker. What's the court thoughts on Parker's case? Okay, this is cause number M334034. Case is style the State of Texas versus Hunter G. Parker. Mr. Parker, is that your full name?
Full legal name, sir, is Hunter Gibson Joseph Parker.
Hunter Gibson Joseph Parker?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Parker, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Parker, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may put your hand down. How are you doing there, Mr. Parker?
Fairly well, yourself, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Parker. You representing your case by your attorney, Attorney Jeffries. Attorney Jeffries, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Jeffries, do you waive a record in Mr. Parker's case?
We do, Your Honor.
Mr. Parker, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Hunter G. Parker, on or about October 22nd of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed Class A misdemeanor offense of criminal mischief. Mr. Parker, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Parker, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Parker, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It's also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir, I do.
And Mr. Parker, on page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials on the line next to a box that says check guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir, I do.
And on the next page of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir, it is.
And on the next document, this document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir, I do.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir, it is.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. You understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Parker, before you signed and initialed these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir, he did.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
At this time, yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Parker, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1 as evidence?
Yes, sir.
Any
No.
objections? No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Jeffries, you advised and counseled Mr. Parker. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, no.
And Mr. Parker, your attorney, Mr. Jeffries, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir, I am.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir, he has.
Mr. Parker, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, sir.
And what is that agreement?
That agreement is, for a plea of guilty, the state has offered 1 year deferred probation, $400 fine, and 40 hours community service.
There's no restitution in this case.
No,
It's criminal shit, okay.
You have to sign in for it. You gotta sign off. Because you got to. What?
Okay, now, Mr. Parker, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $400, court costs of $337. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, your analysis fee of $15 each month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay while you on probation is $150 each month. Will you be able to pay the $150 each month?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to perform 40 hours of community service, and you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and condition of probation. Mr. Parker, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir, I do.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir, I do.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Parker, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Parker, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now you're gonna stand next to your attorney, follow the direction of the coordinator and the bailiff. Once you finish following their directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Jeffries, you're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Thank you. Right, this is cause number M 328-797. Case of style the state of Texas versus Stephen B. Como. Como, is that your full name? Okay, now, Mr. Como, your case was reset to give you an opportunity to hire an attorney, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you hired your attorney?
No, sir.
Why haven't you hired your attorney?
I can't afford one right now.
Okay, now, Mr. Como, we're going to, bailiff is gonna give you some paperwork. Just have a seat, she'll bring it to you. The paperwork, that she's going to give you, one of them is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. And in that paperwork, it gives you three options. You want to hire an attorney, if you want to qualify. If you can't afford an attorney, you can apply for a court-appointed attorney, or you can waive your right to represent yourself. Now, that, matter of fact, that's the document right there.
Yeah, I'm working right now, just I can't support them right now.
Okay, well, you can fill that form out. We can give you an opportunity to fill that form out. And then there's a third form on there that's titled Affidavit of Indigence, Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. On that form, you put your financial information, and then we'll be able to determine whether or not you qualify for a court-appointed attorney, okay? He's gonna fill out the 2 pages. He's gonna fill out the judge's explanation of rights, saying that he want to apply for court-appointed attorney. And then on the next document, the affidavit, Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence, he'll fill out the first page and 2/3 of the second page. That's the top and the middle portion of the second page. Okay, just have a seat, and then we'll get back with you. Oh, let me, is that just? Okay, this is is this the one? Is this Luis Barroso?
No,
That's not that one.
Junior, Romeo Garcia Junior.
It's on this docket?
Sheriff.
On the trial.
On the trial.
Oh, it's on the trial docket. Oh,
And I received a message from Mr. T-Pack. I don't even know how to. And he told me that he wasn't going to appear. So I
okay,
don't know
so
I really don't know what's going on. I don't know why.
he's on the trial docket.
Yes.
So you need to make an announcement as to whether or not you're gonna be a trial.
We're gonna be doing a plea today. And so that's what I had in my notes, that this is going to be a plea. And for some reason, I mean, I don't know. I haven't spoken to Mr. Garcia. I just got out of Judge Stevens' court and I received a message from.
Well, so why isn't what?
I have no idea. I haven't spoken. I don't know why he's not a person.
And here I have a note that he must appear. He was this the guy that had the issue in the out of state?
You know, I don't know if that was him. I think that may have been,
Okay, we had reset that. And that's right, he came in the next Monday and we played it.
That one, I was thinking like had heart trouble or was.
Right. But I think we played it a week later.
I believe.
I think so. He came in he reset it on a Monday or something, and we came in and it was disposed of.
Okay. So this is a different person.
Okay, this is Romeo Garcia Jr.
Yes.
File, okay, his case is set for trial.
Yes, sir.
And over here, Defendant must appear in person. That was on October, it says October 9th, 2023 at 9 a.m. for, he was supposed to plead back in October. That's what my notes say.
I don't know what happened. To be honest with you, I can't remember. Oh, you know what? I think there was, not the complaint, but there was something that was missing. And we couldn't go forward on the plea. I think this is the one.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
hold on a
That
minute.
We had to get,
Yeah, I think this was, we can, hold on a minute. Let
which
me,
we did get, the citation and, the VC affidavit.
Yeah.
The, crash report.
I think there's a, hold on, but this was a case where there was a ticket. Is this the one where he pled? Hold on, let me look at the file.
This is a JP reduction, or, an appeal. Yes.
Yeah,
thank you.
hold on a
JP
minute.
reduction, it's a class B appeal.
Okay, hold on a minute. On trial docket, now hold on a minute. And this is, Romeo. Garcia. Okay. Okay, there was a,
I think there was like a document that was missing
I don't think,
that she couldn't pull up in the system.
nah, let's see, normally, Beaumont, I'm like, this is a Beaumont municipal court case, they usually have all of that stuff together. Let's see, citation, judgment, appeal bond, new case.
Because I received, several documents after that, I guess, that was e-filed into the county.
Citation.
But there was something missing.
No, complaint is here.
Well, but I mean, the last time we came to court, I think there was something missing and we couldn't do the plea that you didn't see on your end.
I'm looking at the citation, the ticket, the citation. I have everything in the file to go forward, basically on a plea.
Okay.
Let
And
me
I
see.
think we were doing a plea today, so
Let
I'm
me
not really
see.
sure why she's not here.
No, and nothing came in after that date. Now, he was supposed to be here in person. Mr. Garcia?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you were supposed to be here in court in person. Why are you not here?
I know, Your Honor. I'm living in Midland right now, and and I don't have the money to get down there. It's kind of expensive for me to get down there. It's like a 9-hour drive.
Well, you need to be.
I know that's not an excuse. It's just been real hard these couple of past weeks, financially, you know.
Yeah. Maybe it was a reset for that. I mean, we're not gonna keep this case, going. We had a court date set today. He was supposed to be here today.
Yeah, last time that I went, they got reset again because we didn't reach an agreement with my attorney, and I know this is not an excuse for me not being down there, but like I said, things has been real hard right now and financially, and I just started this job again, and I really apologize. It's not that I didn't want to be there, or it's just I couldn't make it there financially.
And I have a minute that we were supposed to be doing a plea.
Yeah, I know. That's what I see. It was supposed to be a plea. It's on the trial docket. It was supposed to be, you're supposed to be here in person.
Well,
And,
so I don't know if he's referring to Mr. Teacock that he spoke to after we.
now what attorney did you speak to?
My attorney is Todd Takash.
Oh, you spoke to Mr. Takash?
Yeah, that's who I spoke to this morning. I haven't spoken to my local attorney there, but I hired Todd Takash and somebody
Right,
from
but Mr.
locally.
Takash is not here, and Mr. Takash has a local attorney, Miss Laurie Perrazzo, who he normally works with in cases in this court.
For pleas only.
Yes,
And
sir. I haven't spoken to her today.
Okay.
I spoke to Todd. I spoke to Todd today because I don't have Miss Parazzo's number or or any way to
Okay,
communicate with her.
apparently he has it. But anyway, you're supposed to be here in person.
Yeah.
State, you have any, you have a motion or do you,
State would, say make a motion for,
bond forfeiture?
Oh,
Okay, now, Mr. Garcia, you were supposed to be in person in court. You're not here in person. Court has moved for motion to forfeit your bond. That motion is going to be granted. And so, the court is going to issue a motion to forfeit your bond. You need to be here in person. Okay?
Is there a way I can reschedule or be down there some?
I don't know about, no, it's not, the court is forfeiting the bond. You just need to, there's gonna be a warrant issued for your arrest. I don't know if you could get here before the warrant it has, it goes through the system. It usually take a day or two for it to get through the system. But, if you get here before that time, but right now your bond is gonna be forfeited. Okay?
Okay. Because I'm actually on probation. If if it gets revoked and I get a warrant, I'll probably be picked up by U.S. Marshals.
Oh, well, you're supposed to be here in person. Okay. And you can stay, just talk to your attorney. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So at this time, your bond is gonna be forfeited. And a warrant shall be issued for your arrest. All right, this will conclude this case. All right, you're free to go. This is cause number 23CCCR 0225. Case of style of state of Texas versus Bryce Smith. Mr. Smith, is that your full name? How are you doing, Mr. Smith? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Smith, you're representing your case by your attorney, Peter Dole. Have we heard from Mr. Dole? Yes. Reverend, have we heard from Mr. Dole?
Who is this? I'll take my Smith.
Yes.
You know, you have Ken Lane on one case and Peter Dahl on another case.
Oh,
He has two cases.
okay.
So-
What about Mr. Lane? So we need to go.
Mr. Lane's here. I tried to call him. He's probably in there.
Okay, well, just have a seat.
Showing that he was in there.
Okay, yeah, okay. So once we get that paperwork, this case will be reset. And you have a Gerard Devereaux Malvo Mayo.
Yes, Your Honor.
I think, is he here?
No, we've had problems getting in contact with him. He contacted my office this morning and said he was an hour out, and that was at 9:30. And then when my office checked with him, about 15 minutes ago, he said he was an hour and 20 minutes out. So,
So what that right, he must be hitting in a different direction, huh? He was an hour and 30 minutes ago, and then he called 15 minutes, say he's an hour and 30, so he's must be. This is cause number 23 CCCR 0652. Case is style, the state of Texas versus Kane, Anthony Warner Velasco. Mr. Velasco, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Velasco? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Velasco, you're represented in your case by your attorney Marcus Wilkerson. Attorney Wilkerson, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Velasco, I have before me a motion to dismiss your case that was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. I'm signing this motion. The attorney will be given a copy of this motion in about 1 minute. Once you get a copy of this motion, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. Okay? I just signed it. I think you might be ready with that paperwork, Ms. Mosby. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Ms. Mosby. He was supposed to fill this out where that other X is, that other star. He didn't fill out that information, the second star. Odom. Okay. Okay. Next case is cause number M331948. Case is style the state of Texas versus KC Dallin Wayne Odom.
Morning.
Good morning. Let's see. Okay. This is cause number M331948, case of style of state of Texas versus KC Dallin Wayne Odom. Mr. Odom, is that your full name?
Yes.
Mr. Odom, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Odom, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Odom, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Odom? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Odom. You're represented in this case by your attorney, Skylar Parks. Mr. Parks, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor. Thank you.
That's good. Mr. Parks, do you waive a record in Mr. Odom's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Odom, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information alleges that on or about November 13th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Odom, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Odom, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Odom, I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. Do you it's also labeled as State's Exhibit 1. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials on the line next to the box that said guilty.
Yes,
Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on this document? At the top of this document, there is one box that's checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me another document. This document is titled Discovery Certification. And do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Odom, before you sign and initial these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Odom, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1 into evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections, Mr. Parks?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted in evidence. Mr. Parks, you've advised and counseled Mr. Odom. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Odom, your attorney, Mr. Parks, has advised and counseled you.
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Parks, excuse me, Mr. Odom, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
The agreement is for a plea of guilty. The state is offering 20 days in jail with credit for 5.
Okay. What's the court cost in this case?
$377.
Mr. Odom, the state is offering that you serve 20 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for the 5 days that you have already served. The court costs and your jail time is to begin, is that correct, on December 8th of 2023 at or before 6 p.m.?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct?
It is this Friday.
All right. And now the court cost in this case is $377. Mr. Odom, will you be able to pay the $377 court cost?
No.
Okay. Do we have
Your Honor, I
you have-
already had him fill out the affidavit.
okay, indigents?
Mr. Odom was recently laid off from his job. While he does collect unemployment, his wife does not bring in his salary either. So we would ask that court costs be waived.
I'm looking at this here, it looks like, is everything on this affidavit, should that, everything on this affidavit true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, based on the information that's provided in this affidavit, it seems that you would have enough money to pay off the court costs. I think it's what was it, 377. According here, after you get your check, you should have, let's see, 500 and something left. You should have about four something left.
And Your Honor, I would still ask that the court costs be waived because, that would leave Mr. Odom with a very small, emergency fund. He does have his wife to care for, children.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm looking at the amount that, here, he has an excess fund which will cover the court costs. Yeah, I mean,
Your Honor, would the court costs be due today or?
no, his sentence is gonna start on Friday. What is it, Friday the 8th? Yeah, I mean, we can give him, that time to pay it off. And then he has, his sentence, he got about 15 days. No, I don't think it should be waived based on what I have here. Okay. Oh, let me well,
Your Honor, could.
no, I was just thinking of something else. I was thinking that the time that he spent in jail, 5 days, we can apply that toward the court costs, which means that if we do that, the court costs would be, every day he spent in jail, he get a credit of $100 per day. Okay, so actually he did 5 days, 4 days would take care of this here.
Yeah.
Okay,
The court costs could please,
I mean,
with the jail.
yeah, I mean, yes, it's not stacked. I mean, we'll do that. We'll give him credit for the 4 days that he spent in jail toward his court costs. That'll be on the, well, that wasn't part of plea bargain agreement. I'm ordering it.
Oh,
Yeah, so they don't have to change anything. They don't, no, what I'm saying is, put on the judgment that that's $4. 4 days jail will be credited toward his court costs. Okay, that will just be a note. Okay? So your court costs actually will be taxed and retired. That's basically what's happening, which means that he won't have to pay it.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Odom, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes,
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Odom, I'll follow the bargain agreement. In this case, with the finding as well as of the court that 4 days will be credited for your 4 days in jail will be credited towards your finding in this case, or towards your court costs. Yeah, he didn't have a fine. All right, just have a seat. It's gonna be the court coordinator has to do your paperwork. Once you finish your paperwork, you're gonna come up, print with the bailiff. They're gonna give you some paperwork. They're gonna tell you that paperwork that they give you, you need to bring with you to the jail when you arrive at the jail on December the 8th at or before 6 p.m. Okay? All right,
Thank you, Alan.
you're welcome.
No. Oh, right. Oh, that's, okay, he did it. You need to fill out on the tablet.
You don't, y'all have to send that back to him.
We could do it online.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could just do it right here.
Fill out what?
this part here would ask for your, the defendant's information, attorney's information on the, trial court certification. That information has to be filled out. Hey, how you doing? All right. Stephen Como? This is cause number M328797. Case is Siler State of Texas versus Stephen B. Como. Mr. Como, is that your full name? Mr. Como, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Como, do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Mr. Como, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Como? Okay, Mr. Como, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Recognize this document. And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Also, excuse me, right here on this line, is this your signature on the line as titled Defendant? And there are a set of initials on the line that state you would like to apply to a court-appointed attorney. Is that correct? I also have another document that's titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document? Let's speak up. And on page 2 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant Signature. Is this your signature? Now, Mr. Como, before you sign and initial these documents that I just showed you, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Como, I read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that would be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Ryan Matuska. Attorney Matuska will be given information to contact you. And you will also be given information to contact him. Our court coordinator will give you that information. Once you get the information from the court coordinator, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Now, just have a seat, and when she calls your name, you're gonna go up to her window.
appreciate it. Whatever. Oh, Zach, I'll be coming, I don't know, Jared. Okay, thank you.
Here you go.
No, I'm talking about the interview when it's supposed to call Sharon Hayden, this feels like
Yeah, Smith.
Yes, he's present.
Okay. This is cause number, let's see, he's on this one. This is cause number M332164, case of style of state of Texas versus Bryce Smith. Mr. Smith, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Smith?
I'm good, just how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Smith. You're represented in this case by your attorney, Attorney Kevin Lane. Attorney Lane, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Lane, what is your announcement in Mr. Smith's case?
We're ready, Your Honor.
Okay, state.
State's ready.
Okay, so you'll be back tomorrow at 1:30 when we pick the jury.
1:30.
1:30. Okay, and he's represented by Doyle on another case.
Yeah, sure. I think mine is the older one, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It is.
We don't know if the complaining witness is cooperating or not.
Well, we'll find out.
Yep. See you one.
Okay. Now, Mr. Smith, on the case that you're represented by, yeah, just have a seat. Which one? On who? God. Joshua Ray Goff. Okay. Scott, you could come forward. This is cause number 23CCCR 2104. Case of style of state of Texas versus Joshua Ray Goff. Mr. Goff, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Goff, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Goff, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Goff, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. God?
Okay.
That's good, Mr. God. You're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Marcus Wilkerson, Attorney Wilkerson. How are you doing?
Good.
Mr. Wilkerson, do you waive a record in Mr. Gott's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gott, I have before me a document that is titled information sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, Mr. Gott, it alleges that on or about July 3rd of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated while you operating a motor vehicle in a public place. Mr. God, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. God, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No, I did.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. God, I also have before me a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Jefferson County Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials, JG, on a line next to a box that's checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. You understand that statement?
Yes.
Second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. You understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Gott, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes,
to
sir.
the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gott, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me, states 1, state you like off, states exhibit number 1 in evidence.
Yes, Judge.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Wilkerson, you've advised and counseled Mr. Gott. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Gott, your attorney, Mr. Wilkerson, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gott, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I would also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Do y'all.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of guilty and no contest, the state is offered 60 days in Jefferson County Jail, giving them credit for 60 days, time served, tax and time court.
Okay. Mr. Gott, your attorney, the state is offering that you serve 60 days in Jefferson County Jail. You would not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you've already served 60 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time that you've already served in jail. The court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. That means that you will not have to pay the court costs because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Gott, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gott, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Gott, this will conclude your case. If you do not have anything else holding you in jail, you should be getting out of jail today. Mr. Gott, just have a seat in the jury box and wait for the court coordinator and the clerk to call you up to the window. No, Mr. Wilkerson, you still have Mr. Let's see, yes, we have God, that was him. Jared Devereaux Mayo, we took care of that one.
No, Judge, he's apparently just not coming. He was still in Brazoria County as of,
Okay,
so.
state, okay. This is cause number M331-294, case of Style State, Texas versus Jared Devereaux Mayo. Jared Mayo was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. At or about 9 a.m. The court's bailiff called the name of Jared Devereaux Mayo at the courthouse door. Jared Devereaux Mayo did not answer. He has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. He has had some communications with his attorney, Mr. Marcus Wilkerson, in this case, indicating that he was, I think at one time he was an hour away from court, then an hour after that, he was an hour and 30 minutes away. Then he had his last communication. He's apparently not coming to court. Ms. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Jared Devereaux Mayo at the courthouse door? Okay, Jared Devereaux Mayo's name was just called again at the courthouse door by the court's bailiff. Mr. Mayo did not answer. Mr. Mayo has been given a reasonable time to appear in court. He is not appearing in court. State, do you have a motion?
State moves for bond forfeiture.
That motion will be granted. Jared Devereaux Mayo's bond will be forfeited and a warrant shall be issued for his arrest in cause number M331-294. Mr. Wilkerson, I think this is the last case. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.